let's talk really quickly about Brad because even though, I mean, we actually, no, we don't know this. We don't know that he wasn't aware. We don't know if he had any contact with David throughout the years, but they were very in cahoots. Did you get any vibe that he was just as shady as David when you knew him?
No, I would have never thought so because when I first met him, he was friends with David's older brother. So David has a natural brother with the same birth mother and father, I think, that also grew up in the boys' home and was also too old to be adopted, but legally changed his last name to match the adoptive family. Can you even call it adoptive? I don't know, but
Yeah.
to match the family that took them in as young adults. And Brad was introduced to me as the brother's friend, and then he hung around more and more. And then I met his wife, and we just became phenomenal friends. I mean, she was there when my son was born, she was there helping with diapers and helping make meals when the baby was little. She was there. Um, I mean, when I say best friends, like she really was like, and we lost contact for a little while, but now she lives close to the beach. And so every summer when we go to the beach, we will go and visit with her for some time. And so we were able to, get that contact back. We were all very close, but he was like a college student when we met him. And so he was a lot younger. Like he's literally like 8, maybe 10 years younger than David. So that really kind of blows my mind too, that anybody thought that he was 10 years younger than what he looks, according to his ID. So my friend, we'll call her Melissa, was married to Brad and found out when she was out of town for work one time because she was in the National Guard. She found out that he had been cheating on her and she wanted a divorce. And at about the same time, she found out that she was going to be deployed to Iraq. And he refused to sign divorce papers with her before she left because he had learned from David's brother, who was also in the military, that she would get a premium on her pay if she was married. So she gets more money being deployed because she's married. And he refused to sign papers because he wanted that extra income. And she had paid like 6 months ahead on the house payment before she left and done all this stuff to try to prep, and then finds out he's having this affair and he refuses to sign divorce papers. Um, but she also found out when she came in on her first leave that David was living with Brad and he had been driving her car around, and living in her home. And, you know, they had taken her, pretty house that she had done up and they had turned it into a bachelor pad. And, like the junk everywhere, food everywhere, condom wrappers everywhere. It was disgusting. And all of that had happened. And then she found out that David and Brad had been out at the bar and totaled her car on the way home. And so they completely wrecked it. It had to be totaled out. And Brad had received the check because the insurance was in both of their names. So he received the check, cashed the check. And then he and David went to Miami during spring break immediately after that. So they essentially took the money from her car and went to party in Miami. So, you know, it's not like there's some great people involved in this anyway. But then she found out when she came in from leave that another woman had been living in her home. She couldn't get into their house when she came home. He was at work. And so she called the police and said, "Hey, I need to get into my house. I need to get my things. I'm leaving him. This is it. Like, I've been deployed, so I don't have a key. Am I going to get arrested if I break into my own home?" Well, they said, "Well, no, it's got your name on it." So she crawls through a window, and there stands his live-in girlfriend in my friend's bathrobe, right in the hallway, just staring there with her with her mouth hanging open, like, "What do you? Who are you? What are you doing?" And she's like, "Great. Do you know where Brad is? Could you give him a call?" and let him know that I'm here getting the rest of my things. I'm his wife. It's nice to meet you. And so, like,
Oh my God.
so it's not like he surrounds himself with the most positive individuals anyway, or the most reputable
Yeah, it sounds like,
people.
yeah, I feel like it's a birds of a feather
Right.
situation. And Brad probably was pretty good at schmoozing people too. So probably people never would
Mhm.
have thought that about him. And have you ever reached out to him just because, just to, or you just, nope, once David was gone, I'm anyone associated with him
Mm-mm.
done?
No, I think that anybody that was associated with him probably is at least aware, if not in on some of it. And it's terrible because I have other friends that were his friends' wives. Like the guy from Italy that he kept talking about was his
Yeah.
roommate that he went to Italy with. That guy is a real person. They weren't roommates. But he and his wife were friends with us. In fact, they would come over and cook and all that. And so, you know, I would love to have contact with, maybe her, but she also worked for his mom for a while. And so I can't trust anybody that's ever
Yeah.
been associated with that entire family. And it's terrible because you take a step back and look at all the things that his family's been involved with in the community, and you're like, yeah, that's sketchy.
Right.